Welcome everybody, this is Higurashi When They Cry, Chapter 1, Onikakushi. I don't know what that means. This was someone requested that I do a quick look on this, and that's exactly what I'm doing. A quick look on Higurashi because I've had it forever and I've never actually played it. But I did watch like 3 episodes of the anime, so, you know, I'm pretty much an expert on Higurashi. Let's start. Stop complaining. Let's start playing the game. Okay, the opening. Welcome to the world of Higurashi. The Onikakushi arc will be the opening of Tied into the world. Don't play tough, please just enjoy life in Hinamizawa to the fullest. The difficulty is extremely high, but I hope you will enjoy the reward. It just says don't play tough, but don't I have to play tough because it's hard? That's a little creepy. Okay. Please do not lament. I will forgive you even if the world will not forgive you. Please do not lament. I will forgive you even if you will not forgive the world. So please tell me, what will it take for you to forgive me? Frederica Berncastle. Oh, that's Berncastle. That sounds familiar. I've never heard that before. A work of fiction. Well, I should hope so. 1983, the early summer of the 58th year of the Shouwa era. If I was going to be ripped apart anyways, having my body ripped apart would have been far better. Oh. I trusted her. I'm not even moving her. Doing it by itself. No, I still trust her. Even in this very moment, I trust her. But I'm starting to realize I only wanted to trust her because I refused to accept the truth. It was as if I was trying to convince myself in such a silly, sobbing voice. And those tears making a mess of my face. That mechanical, repetitious sound finally stilled, and everything fell silent. Only the cry of the cicadas remained, annoyingly loud. And yet, I can't access the menu. I felt as if I could hear her voice, but that's not possible. She is no longer speaking. The only one crying is me. She never cried. Not once. Even when she repeated those words over and over, she never expressed any emotion, because there were none to show. If she had no tears to shed for me, then I shouldn't need to shed any for her. Right? Then why? This pain, my eyes getting moist. Why was this happening? I still want to believe. I hadn't been split apart. That's enough, right? Inside me, an inner voice whispered gently. My spirit had suffered enough. And countless times I'd wavered over whether I should just throw the battered thing away. Except, I've stubbornly refused to do that, haven't I? I'd feel better if I just threw it away. Even knowing that, I chose to believe, didn't I? Only I can understand that painful struggle and appreciate it. Hey, me? I've tried more than enough. I'll acknowledge that much. So, isn't it alright to just take the easy way out? Besides, I'm not throwing it away. I'm leaving it behind with her. Like flowers by a grave. Now then, calm your nerves. Even though you can't feel your right arm. Just lift it up. And with every swing, forget a little more. That kindness made me happy. That adorable smile brought me joy. I liked petting your head. I loved how demure you were. Because this will be the last time. Because when I swing this down, I'll forget. This is my first and last bouquet for you. Perhaps I really did. Love you. Wow. Okay, now I can access them. Not that it matters now. It's a little loud though. I turned the volume down. Let me turn it down just a smidge more. That's better. Somebody has been apologizing for a while now. I wonder what she's apologizing for. It felt wrong to eavesdrop, so I tried to ignore it. It had only been a while since I last went to the city. I only returned to attend the funeral of a relative. Even though I lived there until last month, I found the bustle of the city to be overwhelming. Those skyscrapers and the multi-lane roads, the melodious cacophony of the crosswalk, even the campaign speeches blaring in front of the station felt nostalgic. The place where I live now isn't nearly as lively. There's only the chirping of locusts and the babbling of brooks, and the cry of the Higurashi, the evening cicadas. Rather than making me feel lonely, that quietness had begun to instill a sense of serenity. There is nothing where I'm living now. I don't just mean there aren't any burger joints. There aren't even vending machines. No music stores, no restaurants. No arcades. Even an ice cream parlor would be unlikely. What the hell do I do for fun? The nearest town has some stuff like that, but it's an hour away by bike. You know, but come to think of it, it really wasn't that big a deal. There were music stores and arcades and ice cream parlors, but it wasn't like I ever hung out at any of them anyway. I lived in the city for 10 years and never once been to an ice cream parlor. For shame. I should have gone at least once. Just once. And it's only now that I'm starting to regret that just a little. Somebody's still apologizing. Who was she apologizing to? She apologized so much, so just forgive her already. There's no reason anyone should ever need to apologize so much. I started to feel a bit annoyed at whoever was refusing to forgive her. No matter how bad the mistake, there's nothing that can't be forgiven. I would argue that. There's no such thing as an irreparable mistake. I would also argue that. You just need to be more careful next time. She's still apologizing even now. Then, has she really done something that just cannot be fixed? I have no idea what she's done. But if she can't be fixed, then that's all the more reason to forgive her. No matter how much she apologizes, nothing will change. But even so, she keeps apologizing in such a heartbreaking voice. Hey, you. The one she's apologizing to. That's right, you. Watching this video right now. For shame. Why don't you just go ahead and forgive her already? She's apologizing in such a pathetic voice. Kichi, we're almost there. Wake up. I was finally aroused from my nap by my father's prodding. Dad, I'm trying to sleep. God. I hate my father. It seemed the train had reached its final stop. We'd spent hours riding everything from the bullet train to the local routes. It was hard to believe that the landscape beyond the window in the city I was in just half a day ago were in the same country. No, that they were even from the same era. From there, we'd take a car deeper into the mountains. Deeper, deeper, deeper. Past where the dense forest encroaching on the mountain road suddenly opened up. There, where I live now, Hinamizawa. I've heard really good things about this series. I should really play this game. But I don't have the other parts, that's the only issue. So it's like if I play the first part, then I'll just be like, I don't have the other parts. So I'll never really fully understand the story. Even though we were approaching summer, the morning air still had a frigid bite. Although in exchange you could fill your lungs up with crisp, clean air. Flipping over the window, I was greeted with a verdant expanse. Nothing but trees. How I like it. The neighboring house was far away on the other side, so I was probably the only one enjoying that view and that air. I filled my lungs with another deep breath. Ah, the country. Since I started living in Hinamizawa, I learned that even air had its own taste. Ooh, this music is all lively and jumpy. I quickly finished getting ready for school and headed downstairs for breakfast. My mother was the only one there. My father was nowhere to be seen. He was probably up working until the early morning. Dad had a rather unconventional job as a painter. Such a laid-back profession, kind of like YouTube videos. You get up when you want, sleep when you want, and work when you want. Kind of like YouTube videos. I was so jealous of that easygoing lifestyle. I even wrote for school that I wanted to be a painter when I grew up. Dad was ecstatic about that. Hey, there's nothing wrong with painters in the world. You need people to be artistic. Otherwise, the world is boring. Where would we be without the Mona Lisa or Starry Night? That's the world I don't want to live in, I'll tell you that right now. It was just that because it just looks so easy, you know? I never tell him that, though, you know? I don't want to diminish his accomplishment. Being a painter, you know, that's hard work. I mean, anyone can paint. I mean, just look at Bob Ross. He's amazing. He teaches everyone to paint. And that's, you know, it's easy to do, hard to master. But, you know, you can paint whatever you want. The world is your canvas, and your canvas is your canvas. Mom laid breakfast out on the table. Pancakes, again. Seaweed, pickled vegetables, raw egg, and grilled salmon. I don't know if I want all that. I mean, that's... okay. My mom was such a good cook. It was scary. A perfect, immaculate, ideal Japanese breakfast. Unlike my dad, who didn't even know the meaning of the word schedule, my mom never squandered any time or effort. She hummed a little tune as she brought over the miso soup. Seemed like she was in a good mood today. I'm so happy you've been waking up early since we moved here, Keiichi. Well, if I don't wake up early, I won't have time to eat breakfast. I'm just assuming that I'm talking right now and she's not talking. I thought I was being cute. You know, that's what I do. I'm adorable. Responding with a wisecrack after being praised for being good. Full bowl of rice or will half be enough? Oh, please, the half. No. I'll pile it on, you know. I've changed my mind. First, I savored the steaming hot rice with the seaweed. You know, I've never had seaweed. That just doesn't sound appealing to me. After that, I covered it with the egg, between bits of rice. I enjoyed the crunch of the pickles. Pickles are really good. I kind of want some pickles now. No, I'm not pregnant. Not bad at all. Excellent, as usual. Watching me clean my plate, my mom gave me a warm smile. Aw, see, cleaning your plate when your mom cooks for you shows you appreciate her food. I'm so happy you haven't skipped breakfast ever since we moved here, Keiichi. I was not a morning person when we lived in the city. I slept right until the last minute before school and rarely ate breakfast, you know. I would constantly run out of the house with a piece of toast in my mouth. Boycotting the breakfast mom made me each morning. Boy, I'm gonna regret that in my later years. That was probably the only way I could protest being forced to attend cram school. I guess that was what you'd call my rebellious phase. I mean, we all have them, right? Rebelling against authority. We're our own person. I wouldn't so much as look at breakfast she woke up early every day to make. Boy, you know that when we left after running out, that our mom probably cried a few days. We're gonna have to live with that. If I could go back in time, I'd slap myself. Mindful of the time, Mom rushed me along with a wide grin. Off to school now. Isn't it about time you met up with Reina-chan? Hurry, hurry. Mom really seemed to enjoy the fact that her son was going to school with a girl. Reina is one of my classmates, as you probably couldn't tell. She really loves looking after people, coming to meet me every day without fail. You know, the childhood friend trope. But she's sweet. She's really nice. The way I looked at it, a guy my age walking to school with a girl was just lame. I mean, what would they think? What do people say? It's a small town. People talk. I know they do. Oh, well, you know, keeping a classmate waiting for me every day wouldn't be very considerate, now would it? That would just be mean. We're not mean. We're Keiichi. Seriously though, how long does Reina wait there for me every morning? Taking one last gulp of miso soup, I raced for the door. Please thank Reina-chan for the pickles. Come to think of it, those pickles weren't store-bought, were they? You know, if I'd known that, I would have savored them just a little bit more. Morning! I'll say it. I don't like dialogue placed out like this where it covers the screen and I'm unsure of who is exactly speaking at any given time. Not that it's sometimes not obvious who's speaking if there's only one person in the scene, but sometimes it's tricky. And when I have to do different voices for the characters, it's tricky. Because I just embarrass myself sometimes. Keiichi-kun, good morning. Ohayo gozaimasu. Her cheerful greeting was as fresh as the morning itself. You're always so early. You should try sleeping in sometime. If I sleep in, I'll keep you waiting. She's so conscientious and such a good person. Well, if that ever happens, I'll just leave you behind. Keiichi-kun, you're so cold. I wait for you all the time. I'll leave you in the dust. Without looking back. How can we be so uncultured? So mean. Why are you so mean? Why? Reina had a slightly troubled look on her face, and I don't blame her. Toying with her was rather fun because of how quickly her mood changed. Well, you know, you be careful when we toe the line here, because, you know, one day she's happy, another day you pissed her off, and now she's chasing you with a butcher knife or something. You know, like those animes. I'm kidding. I'd wait for you. You know, maybe. With those words, Reina seemed to relax. Her face flushed bright red, like it always does. Thank you. I'd wait forever until you came, Reina, or, well, okay, more like maybe 10 minutes. No matter how long. Okay, I'll give you 15. Forever? Reina turned bright red, steam rising from her head as her brain short-circuited. She's especially weak to this sort of talk, you know. We're charming. We know how to lay it on pretty thick with the ladies. It's quite rare to find someone this fun to tease. Have you read a romance novel, Reina? Huh? I haven't. Never read any before. From that response, I gathered she was interested in them, but was too embarrassed to actually buy one. I don't blame her. I really couldn't imagine what would happen if she did read one. She'd probably turn red and pass out. The lusty pirate captain ogled the bar wench. Oh my. Oh yeah, a message from Mom. She says thanks for the pickles. It was nothing, you're welcome. How were they? Yeah, you know, they're like cucumbers with pickles. Not too salty? Oh, they weren't that salty. Actually, they had a pretty light flavor to them. It would have been fine to just be honest and say they were good, but apparently I couldn't be that forthright. I'd like to ask something about before that. Were you the one who picked them, Reina? Pickled them, Reina. You don't pick pickles. Or was it your mom? Huh? Huh? Why do you ask? Were they too salty? Her attitude completely changed and she began to panic frantically. Was it you, Reina? Or was it your mom? Why are you asking who made them? Why? Well, depending on who made them, my opinion of them might change drastically. I am a man who is very picky about their pickles. Huh? She counted frantically on her fingers because she might have more than one mom, trying to remember the amount of salt she used to pickle them. It wasn't like I was trying to tease her, but I couldn't stop myself. Guys who take pleasure in this kind of thing are probably the worst. I mean, guys like me. Reina nervously opened and closed her mouth over and over, trying to muster a response. It was me. Delicious. Huh? You know, pretty good. You know, just like the last ones. They went perfectly with the rice. My headphones hurt so bad. One of my headphones one of my ears on my headphones is broken. So it like kind of moves and it kind of jabs against the side of my head and it hurts sometimes and I have nothing to fix it with. Her face went bright red again. She was completely spacing out. It was truly a lot of fun to tease her. Maybe too much fun. It should be illegal. I pray that Reina never gets to take advantage by some lowlife. Keep at it, Reina. I'll train you until you can handle it like the average person. Or so I decided for myself. Let's go. If we keep Mion waiting, we'll never hear the end of it. You know how she is. Seeing as she just kept spacing out otherwise, I called Reina back to reality so we could make our way to school. This strange, easily flustered girl is Reina Ryugu. I've only known her for about a month. But I've come to realize it's not just her name that's strange. Well, Reina's not a strange name. Seems perfectly fine. Ryugu might be, I don't know. Mi-chan, good morning. Coming up to the next rendezvous point, we saw another person waiting for us. Noticing us, she waved. Finally, you two are late. Usually you're the one who's late. Sharp contrast to the diligent Reina, this one marched to the beat of her own drum. A snare drum. She's Mion Sonozaki. For what it's worth, she's our senior and head of the class. Morning, Reina, and it's been a while, Kei-chan. How many years? Yeah, oh my god, what years is... I was only off 2 days. You don't say. You were so much cuter back then. I know. I'm telling you, the years are wearing me down. Mion's gaze started at my chest, then dropped straight down, focusing on the point between my legs. So she was saying it was my crotch that was cuter back then. Whatever that means. Okay, before you ask, just to be clear, I've never actually tried to show it to her, okay? I'm not some pervert hentai freak. I've grown quite splendidly. You'd be surprised. Not only is he bigger, but he has a little mustache now. Being so engorged with energy every morning is quite a problem, though, as you can imagine. I'll introduce you next time, so be sure to greet him properly. God. Don't say next time, right now is fine. How about letting the little guy get a breath of fresh air first? I don't think I've ever heard you talk so dirty. You could smell it fouling up the morning air before. Mion sure does act like an old man sometimes. Gotcha. Time for the big reveal. Hope you don't regret it. As my hand reached for my fly, Reina began to ramble in a near panic. Hey, what are you talking about? What are you talking about? Red-faced and flustered, Reina tried to play dumb, but it was obvious she knew exactly what we were talking about. No one's that dense. I mean, maybe she really is that dense. How was it, seeing the big city again? Mion switched gears, dropping the dirty talk and changing the topic to something more befitting the pleasant morning. Well, I went for a funeral. I didn't have much time. So yeah, did you look for it? That thing I asked for. You're not listening at all. I just came back from a funeral. I didn't have time to look around any goddamn toy stores. Just go the way. Toy stores and hobby shops are completely different, you know. It's really difficult to get Western stuff around here after all. Is this about games again, Mi-chan? Mion nodded proudly as Reina giggled. Yep, I wanted Kei-chan to bring me back a Westport catalog, you see. Westport was short for Western Imported Games. Using that abbreviation did make it sound pretty geeky, because I had no idea what the hell that meant until they just explained it. You could just get them sent to your mail, and can't you? Well, I guess I have to now. I'm gonna get another game full of hot action. This time, I'd like a game that's easy to understand. Mion is a board and card game enthusiast, and I hear she's collected quite a lot of different ones. I love me a good board game. According to Reina, Mion's room has kind of become a museum for domestic and foreign games. If there's a game you think I'd understand, let me play too. Of course. Ch.1 is up for it. I should warn you that we're pretty tough. Just what I want. I play all sorts of games. I don't intend to lose. Whoa. Then I guess we'll let you in the group this time. I guess, You're paying the fee, though. Bristling with joy from head to toe, Reina looked back and forth between me and Mion. Mion gave her an affirmative wink, and her expression perked up even further. I thought boys preferred playing outside more, so I figured you wouldn't want to. Reina laughed happily. From such a friendly conversation, you wouldn't really think I had moved here less than a month ago. It seemed like we'd been friends our whole lives, I understood that they did all they could to make a transfusion like me feel at home, and I know I greatly appreciate that, moving in a new city and all and having no friends. It's hard. I've never personally had to go through that experience, but there are people who have, and it's certainly not an easy transition. I'll have to try harder to fit in, so they wouldn't feel like they'd have to try make me feel welcome. I felt like I acted a bit more open than I usually am. I probably should be about right for this place. Hinamizawa was a really small village, if you couldn't tell from the CG. Not only was there only one school, but there was only one class, actually. That class encompasses all different grades and ages. It's a little tricky. There's about 30 students at different levels, and they all study in the same class. I'm told that long ago, there used to be a bigger school building, and they had actual separate classes. However, it seems something happened that made it become a single class, and now it's stayed that way out of tradition. I was shocked at first, but humans adapt pretty quickly. I've already gotten quite used to it. The sound of children playing started right in front from the morning. With such a lively mood, it felt more like a kindergarten than a proper school. Not that that was a bad thing necessarily. Leon, who had been walking in front of us up until then, suddenly let me take the lead, right in front of the classroom door. So I was meant to slide the door up and enter the room first. Too bad, I was gonna fall for that one again. To think you would give the lead here. You meant for this to be a test of my skills. Mion chuckled with a haughty smirk on her face. What is it, you guys? Step back, Reina, it's dangerous. She's here. Huh? Then Sadako-chan is... Her name was Satoko Haju. She was a disrespectful, impudent, bossy kid. The way she talks was annoying, but it would be immature to get worked up over just that. The real problem was this. Quite the obvious trap, a blackboard eraser wedged in the door. It's too obvious, Satoko. A haughty laugh came from behind the door. She's a bit of a prankster, you see. Excellent, Ch.1. I guess this means you win this round. No, this is Satoko we're talking about. I doubt this is it. After falling for such intricate traps since the day I transferred, I no longer let my guard down. Satoko liked to combine a variety of traps. Traps that were simply there to bait you into the main one. Traps that relentlessly kept you coming at you like a sadistic Rube Goldberg machine. The list goes on. As well as being clever, they almost never misfire. When you least expect it, she strikes. No escape, no time to relax. By the looks of it, this eraser is normal. No rocks or anything in it. I took a pretty heavy hit from a blackboard eraser loaded with rocks on my first day. Hurt like a bitch. So then why don't you just open the door and let it drop? That's what it is. That's what she wants, don't you see? That's what she was after. Making me focus my attention upward, so as I lifted my hand to the door, there were thumbtacks stuck to the sliding door handle with tape, a frightening trap. A potent and terrifying trap, concealed by using the blackboard eraser. An impressive combination, Satoko, but it will take more to best me. But in the end, nothing more than the trivial mechanizations of a child. Assured of my victory, I threw the door open and stepped into the room. I felt something strange in my ankle. It was similar to the sensation of a jump rope catching on my leg. By the time I realized that she had me hook, line, and sinker, it was already too late. I began to fall in an almost picturesque manner. Hey Chin, watch out! Instinctively reacting to me on shrill warning, I twisted my body in midair before I landed on the floor. Ow, ow, ow! An inkstone, filled to the brim, was placed right where I would have landed. I shuddered, imagining the situation had I landed square on it. You bitch. My, what do we have here? A fair morning to you, Keiichi-san. Aren't we a lively one this morning? Still sprawled in an awkward position, I was greeted by a mocking voice. That was a step up from the usual trap, Satoko. I'm impressed. I haven't the faintest idea what you mean. You're quite unlucky this morning. You little... Ow! It seemed I had inadvertently sprained my back a little when I landed. I swear, if that's going to cause me back problems in the future, I'm assuming for everything you know. No, better than landing on the inkstone. I don't know about that. Oh, look how cute she is. A small hand gently rubbed my head. Pain, pain, go away. The small, dainty hand continued to gently stroke my head. You didn't sprain your back or anything, did you? If you rub it like this, the pain disappears. No, honey, the pain doesn't disappear with that. It disappears with morphine. I thought about asking how rubbing my head would help my back, but, you know, I didn't want to, I didn't want to take the joy away from her life. It's not so much about what you actually do, it's the thought that counts, you know. Maybe it's like a placebo effect or something. Yeah, thanks, Rika-chan. The pain's going away now. Yay, Rika-chan, good morning. Good morning to you, Reina. Good morning to all. Except that bitch, Satoko. Rika-chan greeted each of us with an adorable little bow. It was infectious, you know. Reina, Mion, and I all bowed back. She's adorable, how could you not? Oh, you're such a good kid, Rika-chan. So much better than Sadako, you know. I glared over in her direction. Sadako was whistling while rather deliberately trying to avoid eye contact. I'm the very model of a good girl. Good girl wouldn't set those nasty traps. Nothing but lies and slander. I have exactly what proof? Picked up Sadako by the back of her collar. I will end you. She looks like a misbehaved cat when I do this. It's kind of funny. Sometimes I whisper vile things in her ear. Really get in her mind. A cat wouldn't be setting traps. A cat would probably set a trap and then walk right into it because it's a cat and it doesn't care. She's much harder to deal with. I'm sorry. Try saying that. If you won't say it... I cocked my index finger on my thumb, letting it tremble as I brought it closer to Sadako's forehead. We will flick you in the face. I'm against violence. You don't even have any proof. You're against violence. Oh, I broke my back. Just so you know, my forehead flick really hurts. It can split plywood right in half. Or I wish it could. One of these days. Eek. Stop! Get away from me, you beast! Don't say that in a way people will misunderstand. Small hand tugged on the back of my shirt. She's been lonely since you were gone for 2 days. Rika-chan really is just so... How could I do anything more after being told that? I gently released my grip on Sadako, who at this point was on the verge of tears. Only on the verge, though. She still had her eyes clamped shut as she braced herself for the forehead flick. Doesn't bother me. You mustn't cry, Satoko. Keep on fighting. Yeah. Fighting what? Rika gently petted the head of her prankster friend. You know, you would really never guess those two are the same age. I think Satoko could learn a thing, or a million, from Rika-chan. Next time, set an even more amazing trap. See, now you're just being an enabler, Rika. Wait a minute. As she observed the sane Reina's expression grew ecstatic as she began to swoon. Oh, Satoko-san is crying. So cute. You can't take them home. Not again. The parents were furious. Huh? But they're so cute. You can't, no matter how cute they are. But just for a little bit, it's fine. It's fine. Well, you know, there's a fine line between playing and kidnapping. Reina kept a cutesy face even as outrageous ideas spewed from her mouth. According to Mion, Reina is ridiculously weak to cute things and always tries to take them home. Object or person. Stealing is bad, but abducting people is even worse. Give it up. Then I can just look. Just looking. That should be fine, right? Right? Reina swooned over Satoko's crying form. You know, if a girl ever goes missing in Hinamizawa, I'll be forced to send Reina into the authorities. Because she's the only one I would ever suspect. Forgive me, Reina, for I've sinned. I'll be sure to bring you care packages when they put you away. I'll make you a cake with a file in it. Your teacher's coming. Quickly, clean everything up. Satoko, that inkstone is yours, right? Just from me on single statement, the entire mood of the room shifted back to normal. The inkstone was bad, but the thumbtacks stuck to the door handle were an even bigger problem. Do you know how much that's going to hurt the poor girl? I pulled the tape off carefully, making sure not to skewer myself. Even though Satoko was the one who set up, everyone else had to pick up after her. Quite the burden. By the time the teacher entered the room, the bed lamp from before had been neatly tidied up. Which is awesome. We made it in time. Rise! Attention! Mion gave out the morning commands. And it's difficult being the teacher for all these different grades in one class. Can't imagine the stress. She has to teach something different to each one. She's got to teach Sakoto manners today. She's still working on that one. But naturally, you know, she ends up spending all her time with the younger kids, you know. They're younger. Reina and Mion, being in the highest grade in the class, end up doing mostly self-study. They even end up helping teach the younger kids, so it seems like they can never really get their own studies. You know, they're actually way behind where my studies have progressed to, because, you know, I'm awesome like that. Oh, beautiful girl. You're learning about baking soda and vinegar while I'm studying nuclear physics? Well, I suppose I can share some of my knowledge with you. As a result, I'm pretty much taking over for the teacher and helping Reina and Mion with their studies. You're a pretty good teacher, Kichi-kun. Easy to understand. Reina took a breather after finishing highlighting an important section. Teacher's making me lose confidence. Makes me aware of how shallow my understanding of the subject is. They say that to teach someone something, you need to understand it backwards and forwards. So while you're teaching us, you're getting in your own practice. In contrast, this person over here is quite laissez-faire about things. For one, isn't she supposed to be in a higher grade than me? Look, Mion, this is for your own good. If you don't take this seriously, there'll be trouble later on. With these marks... It's not like I'm aiming to go to a prestigious school. I'll be fine as long as I pick up what I need to know for the entrance exams in a little at a time. Well, see, there's your mistake. Cramming never works in the long run. I mean, yeah, you might pass the test, but you're never going to retain any of that knowledge. That's why cramming is a horrible way to study anything. That's why they don't let me be a surgeon anymore. Her staunch defiance was really something else. This was a different type of relaxed than somebody who already knew what was going to be on the entrance exams. Mei-chan, Keiichi-kun is doing his best to teach us. We need to try hard too, for his sake. You're such a good and honest kid right now. I'll make sure you guys get accepted into a good school. What? Thanks so much. Especially you, Reina. Private lessons, you know, just the two of us. In my bedroom. Private lessons? Puff of smoke shaped like a halo popped out of Reina's head. Exactly what kind of private lessons is she fantasizing about that's making her turn so red? Hey, I don't think we're completely, you know, innocent here either. I mean, I'd like to hear the play-by-play about that next time. While Mion was flipping through her vocabulary flashcards, she's trying to learn dog today, she threw out her casual question. So, in the city, do you have to study this much? Well, I mean, if you don't know at least this much, you really can't get into university. So, you just study to get into university? Well, I mean, yeah, basically. I mean, well, knowing that stuff won't ever come in handy in the future. Out here, you can get into university as long as your attendance is good enough. Really? Study equals entrance exams. Having that basic law of the universe so easily overturned sent me into a state of shock. I mean, doesn't seem right. That is right. There aren't really enough people around here to warrant weeding them out with an exam. I mean, I guess I can see that. I mean, if anyone can get into university, then there's really no need to be all uptight about this stuff, right? Well, that's true, but you should at least know stuff that's common knowledge. This old geezer thinks that, instead of wasting time studying pointlessly, you should be spending your precious teen years doing more meaningful things. It was too profound a statement to laugh off. But since it was Mion, that probably didn't actually have that deep of meaning. He lived for the moment. In place of a chime, the sound of the principal waving a handbell drifted through the classroom. We have a principal. Okay, Chan, we're done, we're done! It's our wonderful lunchtime. In a complete 180 from her unmotivated state, Mion gave the commands that signaled the end of the morning period. Keiichi-kun, let's have lunch, Star. I might have been making a very troubled face. Why you smile brightly at me? Oh, white. Let's eat. There seems to be different cliques, even within the small class. Most of them were divided up by gender and age. But our group was a little different. Our ages were different, and we had both boys and girls. But we weren't really reserved around each other. I had to clear my throat for a second. This level of openness makes a transfer student like me pretty damn happy. Reina and Mion pushed their desks together so they were facing each other. At the same time, Satoko and Rika were slowly lugging their desks over as well. Satoko. Kei-chan, hurry, hurry! Kei-chan, Keiichi-kun. Not a woman. Or cute. Reina waved her chopsticks in an unrefined manner, trying to hurry me along. Unless everyone was together, they couldn't even open their lunchboxes. Keiichi-san's lunchbox must assuredly filled with nothing but bread crusts, like some sort of destitute plebeian. I like my bread crusts. Why don't you just show it to us? Come on now. I swear, we better be packing caviar. Even though Satoko was hurling insults at me, she still wouldn't open the lid to her lunchbox until I was there. What if it turns out that Satoko actually has like a horrible, poor life? I saw the anime, The World God Only Knows, with like the rich girl, like I think it was close to the beginning of the series, and turns out her family wasn't actually rich at all. Or they used to be, but they were kind of destitute now, and she tried to keep it up. She tried to keep up acting the spoiled rich girl, and it's a pretty good show if you ever get a chance to see it. Pulled out my lunchbox swiftly and dragged my chair over to join the circle. Hey, sorry to keep you waiting. Well then, Representative Me, please give the signal to start. At first, this was kind of embarrassing, but I got used to it pretty fast. At this point, I probably wouldn't even open my own lunchbox if someone else was too slow. Our ages and genders may have all been different, but our friendship was strong, except for Satoko, who was a bitch. But we were all friends. Let's eat. Itadakimasu. Hey, I learned all my Japanese from Gogo Nippon. The sound of our little 5-part chorus echoed beautifully through the classroom. Really though, I've really kind of gotten used to this group made up of all girls. Now, the estrogen would drown your horse. Of course, there are other boys in the class, sure, but they were a lot younger, so they were scared to approach me. Their senpai. Well, that's to be expected, I guess. I am pretty awesome. Younger boys just see older boys as scary. Compare that to girls, well, these girls aren't picky. We put all the side dishes in the middle where everybody was free to pick at them. I thought girls would mind sharing a meal with a guy, so I was a bit flustered joining in. However, Mia noticed that and teased me quite a bit. As the fruit of my efforts, I can now reach over and take sides from anybody's lunch. It's a perk I have. My, isn't Sir Kichi's lunch extravagant today? My, isn't Madame Satoko's lunch extravagant as well? The stewed stuff has a nice look to it, rather trendy, if I must say. Buying into the fight that Satoko was starting, our chopsticks locked into cross-counter, stabbing into each other's lunches. Like we're murdering somebody. My, how delicious. Oh, this taro is good. The stewed stuff is good too, even cold. After seeing my happy face, Rika-chan's expression broke into a little smile. I saved some for dinner last night. By the way, Satoko and Rika-chan's lunches are always the same. Seems that Rika-chan makes it for both of them every day. Aw, how sweet. Rika-chan made this too? These taste like Mom's home cooking. I was honestly impressed. The carrot rosettes weren't from a mold. They were done by hand with a knife. Quite a tricky thing to do. That's not easy to do. I guess Rika-chan is sort of good at this. She'll make a great wife one day. She's really good at sewing, laundry, and stuff like that. Amazing, right? Amazing! Amazing, right? Rika is quite exceptional in many ways, unlike the bitch Keiichi. That's nothing for you to boast about. Oh. Marina's actually better at cooking than I am. Huh? Well, you know... Star. It seemed that the topic of the conversation switched to Reina when she wasn't expecting it, making her blush and trip over her words. Reina's lunch really was the star of the table. Not only did it look good, it tasted good too. That's important. Everyone else pulled from Reina's lunchbox constantly. The poor girl, she's never going to get any food at this rate. Everyone liked this one so much before, so I made a lot this time. It's good, I hope. I hope. It's got high marks from me. Ah, Mion, you're talking too much. Knocking Mion's chopsticks aside, I reached out, trying to secure my own portion. Satoko and Rika-chan reached over at the same time, and a struggle ensued. Everyone shoveled a mouthful after mouthful while praising it, and Reina's lunchbox was soon empty. You know, it was kind of bad that no one thought to leave any for Reina, you inconsiderate asses. But, you know, we didn't leave any for her either, so... Reina seemed rather satisfied as she looked on hungry. How did you like it? Isn't Reina-san an extremely good cook, too? Quite different from Keiichi-san. I said that's nothing for you to boast about. You're not different from Keiichi-san, Satoko. Can you tell the difference between broccoli and cauliflower yet? Yeah, one's green and one's not as green. Satoko's face went pale. Hey, even I can tell the difference between broccoli and cauliflower, you know? Of course I can. I really can. God, it's really hard for her to lie. It's almost funny watching her struggle so hopelessly. Good thing I packed popcorn for my lunch. Kichi-kun, both taste good when they're boiled and topped with mayo, right? Ew, mayonnaise. You shouldn't be picking on her. Me-chan, too. Rena hurriedly tried to follow up, but Mion laughed haughtily, as she drew closer to Satoko. Oh well, just pretend it's a little home ec lesson. Now then, Satoko, what's this? Mion lifted up her chopsticks. Between them was a piece of green stuff wrapped in bacon. Ooh, bacon. But that's Shut up. Mion made eye contact with me, and within 3 seconds I had Rika-chan's mouth covered. Holding a piece of bacon-wrapped asparagus and giving her 2 choices, which are not asparagus. She's pretty terrible. Well, the yellow one is cauliflower. No, wait. The green one is cauliflower. So which? Probably the yellow one is broccoli and the blue one is cauliflower. But the green one is, do you really know which is which? How about you just give up? I'd expect no less from the class rep. The oldest. The way she drives people into a corner just shows how much experience she has at all this. This is just a hunch, but being brought into the Sonozaki household must be quite the ordeal. I do know. I really do. The answer to the question. I know. Wah. She finally broke down and started crying. You know, when she acts like that, she actually starts to seem her age. How cute. Reina entered a state of euphoria as Satoko bawled her eyes out. You know, it's honestly kind of creepy, you know, thinking something's cute because it's crying and confused and angry. Do you kick puppies for a living too? Reina was in a state of bliss as she rubbed her cheek against Satoko's head and smothered her. Really a very content face. One that wouldn't care if the world ended right then. It was that kind of smile. Reina, your Mimi's picking on me. Wow. Cute. It's okay, Reina. Oni-chan will take care of all those bad people who tease my little sister. Oh my god. It's like a flash of lightning. What was that just now? Both of Reina's fists shot out at supersonic speeds, striking Mion and me squarely in the face. Before I knew it, Mion and I were sprawled, spread eagle on the floor, staring up at the sun with matching welts on our faces. This is the first time you've gotten one, right? Today, she went easy on us. Easy? You mean there's something harder than this? With that, Mion and I both slumped our heads back to the floor in unison. From now on, I'll be careful when I'm within striking distance of Reina. Almost scary. See, Satoko-chan, I took care of them. Cute. I want to take you home. Making sure Reina couldn't see it, Satoko stuck her tongue out at us. Damn it all, using Reina like a puppet. Rika-chan massaged our bruises without saying a word. Aw, how sweet. Well, lunch is over, back to school. Alright. Nope, out of school. No matter what the day it held. The last school bell always came too soon. Our shadows stretched off into the distance. Hey, Kishi-kun. Tomorrow, do you have any plans or anything? Huh? It was such a direct question from Reina, I inadvertently blushed. If it was for a date, then wouldn't you do it more subtly? Reina saw me lost for words and realized that I'd misunderstood and turned red as well. No, I didn't mean it like that, you see. So apparently that wasn't what she had meant. Damn. You know, but since it was always fun with Rain as a panic, I went along with it just a little. Oh, really? So, it wasn't meant that way. Okay, now we stare wistfully off into the distance. Slightly disappointed. Huh? Pointed up, I slumped my shoulders, feigning dejection. Keiichi-kun, why are you so disappointed? Why? Why? Mia-chan! Unable to hold it in any longer, Mion slapped me on the back. I see, this old geezer never knew you could push your buttons like that. Huh? What is it? Mion was rolling on the floor, clutching her... Okay, it wasn't that funny, alright? Come on, stop being a drama queen. I couldn't help but start laughing as well. Feeling just a little bit guilty. I ruffled Reina's hair. You know, like they do in the shows. Kidding. I'm sorry, it was a joke. That was my fault. My bad. You know, she really is cute. Huh? A joke? Since when? Since when? Huh? About halfway through. Halfway? It's okay, Chan. That means you weren't acting when you blushed at the start. Huh? That means... It was only a momentary lapse, but there was no way Mion would let such a delectable detail slip by her. Well, you see, saying anything more was also a bad idea. In my bewildered state, I slipped further into an unfavorable position. I'm about to be checkmated, and it doesn't feel good. After that, Mion continued to tease me about it for a little while. We fade to black, and the music ends. So, why were you asking if I was free tomorrow, Reina? Huh? Oh, what are we talking about? Oh, God, you're such a ditz. It had been so long that Reina had forgotten. That's how long Mion teased me. It's just, Kei-chan, you probably can't find your way around Hinamizawa by yourself yet, can you? Now, that was true. You know, I hate to say it, but if you blindfolded me and spun me around 3 times like we were playing Pin on the Tail on the Donkey, I wouldn't be able to tell up from down here. Yeah, I don't think I know how to get anywhere besides back and forth from school. And the liquor store. Yes, so you see, tomorrow we were thinking that Mi-chan and I could escort you through Hinamizawa and show you around, you know. Oh, that would be a godsend. Frankly, I was happy about the offer. He'll come, of course, right? If I'm free. See, I remember I watched the anime. Like I said, I watched like 3 episodes of the anime, and this exchange took place in a classroom. It didn't take place out in the open, which is fine. You're being invited by a girl, you know. If I'm free. You're probably free anyway. How do you know? I could have things going on. I have a very busy life. I have friends outside of school, you know. I have a life. Yeah, I'm free. If I'm free. I was being stubborn so as not to give her a clear yes or no. Even though I thought it was a godsend, I'm too much of a scamp to say up front. Keiichi-kun, you're not free perhaps? Perhaps? While Mion and I had our rather sour back and forth, Reina peeked over at me hesitantly. Figuring I'd been a bit rough on her, I just gave in. Sorry. Forgive me, I apologize. I'm free, okay? I was just messing with you. Great! The trepidation disappeared from Reina's face as it blossomed into a smile. Aww, how could we not? That smile's adorable. Can't go wrong with the smile. Takes 47 muscles to frown, but only 17 to smile. Puts things in perspective, doesn't it? Hey now. Seems like there's quite a difference between how cold you are to me compared to Reina, isn't there? Well, yeah, that's because I don't like you as much as Reina. And you're mean to me, so, you know. Seems Mion didn't care for how rude I was to her compared to how quickly I agreed with Reina. But her being annoyed was very interesting. So I pushed Reina forward, speeding up our pace to leave Mion behind. Let's go, Reina. Maybe it should just be the 2 of us tomorrow. Leave grumpy old Mion behind, you know. She's a 3rd wheel and all. 3's a crowd, as they say. Hey, well, if Kichi-kun is okay with that, then... I'm the one who came up with the idea to take him around. Don't ignore me, Kichi Mayabara. It'd be great if the two of us could go on a picnic together. Should we bring a basket, Reina? If we're being in a basket, I'll make all the food. Maybe. Maybe. Well, I mean, you have to give me yes or no if you're gonna be making all the food, because I can't cook, so I'm gonna have to buy stuff. Don't just ignore me too, Reina. I'll tell everyone that you two disappeared into the hotel district together. Come on, who's gonna believe that? Oh, Satoko. Ugh. Oh, wow. Well, then I'm going to go right home and start making it. Tomorrow's gonna be so fun. Later, Koichi-kun, Mi-chan, bye. She's very dangerous, you know that? Reina bounded off like she was walking on the moon. After the dust settled, all that was left was me standing next to Mion, sprawled out on the ground. There was a welt on her face. Are you alright? You know, there was over 2 meters between you guys. Since he came, they've become sharper. This old geezer's body can't handle it. Well, maybe it'd be easier if you stopped saying stuff that makes Reina want to hit you. You know, maybe. Or else this will end up being me on slapstick comedy hour, which is perfectly fine with me. If that happened, the results might be fatal. Don't feel bad, Mion. You're probably the only one here who can dodge your jabs. It felt like it was her knee, though. How could it be that we were hanging around with an unrivaled martial arts master? Maybe. Maybe someday we'll see her debut in an extreme contact sport. Maybe part 2. You can't lose to Reina. You need to train up and have a rematch. What is this, Rocky? Kei-chan, you should. This old geezer will root for you. Mion and I reaffirmed our determination to discover a way to counter Reina's infallible technique. Higurashi when they cry. And this video's gone on for a decent amount of time. I think I'm going to cut the video off here. And I hope you all appreciate I've received new tips. Wear a mixed grade. We don't have a uniform? ? Welcome to Hinamizawa. Hope you enjoy your stay. I know I enjoyed this video. This game. I had a lot of fun with it. So I do hope to see you all next time. And have a good day.